Hey, how you doing? I'm going to talk to y'all today about something that is kind of touchy here in the United States. It's smoking. It's what I'm going to talk about, but specifically the health risks and what big tobacco don't want you to know. Uh, just like I said here on the screen, it says don't let big tobacco blow smoke up your bum. They're definitely going to do it because they want that money. But the problem is in our society. We've let smoking become cool. Remember in high school, all the cool kids were smokers. They were not cool because they smoked. They just happened to be cool and they smoked. So everybody would want to be like them, so they'd end up smoking more. But what we don't think about is the fact that big tobacco wants to make all the money they can. They spent $9 billion in 2015 advertising for smoking. Back in my day, when I was growing up, it was the Marlboro Man. He was on all the TVs, all the billboards. He was everywhere in magazines advertising about the coolness of smoking, It was the cool thing to do. They spent $9 billion in 2015 trying to get you to smoke. In the same year, they made $150 million off of smokers. But here's the problem with that. They make all the money. They put all the effort for it to get you to smoke, and you spend the money to do it, but we don't think about the health risk that comes with that. In 2015, 15 out of 100 people were smoking. Now, that don't seem like a lot, but that's 36.5 million people that were smoking in 2015. Well, with smoking comes health risks. And we don't like to think about that, but it's the truth. In the same year, not just in the same year, but some of those risks is heart disease, COPD with respiratory issues, and that includes bronchitis and asthma and all those things like that. You got cancer. Cancer is a huge thing. You can get not just cancer in the lungs, but you end up with cancer in the mouth, in the lips, in the gums. You end up with vision issues. You end up with, you can have vision loss from it. Not just vision loss, but you end up with all kinds of things, and I don't even have time to get into the issues of secondhand smoke and what that does to other people. But, we look at it and we go, wow, that's great, but really, what does that cost us? Well, you want to know what it cost us? Let's look at this stat right here. $72.7 million is what the American people spent on smoking in 2015. That was done by a study with the University of California. And out of that $72.7 billion, you had 16 million Americans that had smoking-related illnesses. 16 million Americans had smoking-related illnesses. That's crazy. When you think about that, you can't help but think about the fact that 1 out of 5 deaths in the United States has something to do with smoking-related illnesses, whether it be from COPD or cancer or secondhand smoke even. 1 out of 5 deaths has something to do with smoke-related illnesses. That's crazy. But when you go on and you think about that, you got to think about the fact that there's a way to stop. There's got to be a way to stop. We spend so much money on healthcare costs. $72.7 million was spent on healthcare costs alone in 2015. We got to stop. We got to. But how do you stop? When you think about that, how do you stop? Well, you got to have a plan. You can't do anything unless you have a plan. And the plans can be simple. Some folks go cold turkey. Now, that's one of the hardest ones to do. You think about cold turkey. You've been smoking for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, ever what it is, and just to lay down those packs of cigarettes and go, I'm done. That's hard. But also another way to do it is behavioral therapy. Behavioral therapy might include, hypnotherapy. It may be talking with a counselor who's going to help you work with ways to get past your addiction to smoking. Just like there's addictions to alcohol, there's addictions to drugs, there's addictions to shopping and eating, as you can see with me. Psychotherapy can help you with so many different things when it comes to stopping smoking. But you've also got nicotine replacement. Nicotine replacement could come in forms of patches or gums. And A lot of people have had success out of that. Another way is medications. If those aren't working for you, the doctor can prescribe you a medication that's going to take that nicotine withdrawal and make it worse, or make it less. And finally, you can do a combo treatment. Combo treatments could be psychotherapy along with nicotine patch, or it could be psychotherapy with medications. But there's combinations of all these treatments that is going to work for you. It's just a matter of finding out what is right for you to quit smoking. Because when you look at all those stats that I just quoted off right there, and all the money that's being spent on cigarettes, $9 billion, they're wanting to get your money. $150 million Americans spent on buying cigarettes or buying tobacco in general. When you think about $150 million that's being spent by the American people, that's a lot of dabbling money. And then you put on top of that, $72.7 billion is being spent on healthcare costs. That's a staggering number when you think about that much money going out the door because of something that we have the source of quitting right there in our hands. In our hands, meaning the internet, meaning the phone book. We could call somebody and get that help lined up that we need, but it's just a matter of doing it. We can't get past this stigma of it being cool, and then once it's cool, it's done got you in its claws and it's not going to turn loose. So I implore you, if you are a smoker, seek out ways to quit. Don't be one of those statistics of 1 in 5 people that die from smoking every year. Don't line the tobacco company's pockets any longer. You've already spent enough money. They've done got rich and got their big planes long enough. I'm imploring you, please stop. We don't need any more deaths from tobacco-related illnesses. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day.